Right now, we're getting more reaction to the breaking news on the acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse. We're joined by B'Ivory LaMarr, the attorney for the family of Jacob Blake. Blake's shooting sparked the protests last year that were happening when Rittenhouse went to Kenosha. B'Ivory, thank you so much for joining us. How are Jacob Blake and his family, for that matter, processing this acquittal right now?
Well, Wolf, unfortunately, I don't think the Blake family is surprised. I think just like many of Americans, there's two different justice systems in this country. There's one for African Americans and there's one for the rest, including the police departments. So, I think what we just witnessed was an illusion of how the real judicial system is supposed to play out. So unfortunately, when you have such an illusion as far as picking 20 jurors in one day and expect that there not to be bias that still exists in that jury pool, and when you come to the verdict, I don't think there's really a cause to be surprised about the outcome.
Kyle Rittenhouse, as you know, was found not guilty on all charges today, and the police officer who actually shot Jacob Blake faced no charges and returned to active duty. What does that say to you about the justice system?
Well, it says that we have a lot of work to do. I think there's one positive takeaway from this Rittenhouse trial, and I think that's only that he was actually charged. In the Jacob Blake shooting, where he shot 7 times, walking away, Officer Shesky never had to even stand a day in court. So I think that goes to show the testament of where we're at, and it goes to show how much work we have to do. I think more importantly, for all the supporters of Jacob Blake, all the individuals across this country who stood in solidarity with the Blake family, I think it's important to know that social justice is not a moment, but it's a movement. And we still have a lot of work to do. And myself, Attorney Ben Crump, and all the other civil rights lawyers of this country have to come together and continue re-strategize as to how we're going to address these issues going forward.
The family of Anthony Huber, one of the men killed by Rittenhouse, says in a statement, and I'll read it to you, today's verdict sends the unacceptable message that armed civilians can show up in any town, incite violence, and then use the danger they have created to justify shooting people in the street. Do you agree? Does this embolden, do you believe, others to follow Rittenhouse's example?
Yes, I think this is a very, very dangerous precedent that has been set. As an attorney in the state of Wisconsin, along with Georgia and Texas, I believe that, it's important that we have clear standards and be able to hold individuals accountable for engaging in provoking situations. I think that you don't see the same thing occur when it's African Americans. Hey, I hate to make this about race, but it is about race. When is the last time that we've seen an African American in a highly publicized case, not charged when having that you used deadly force? That just doesn't happen. So again, this is a dangerous precedent when one can come from another state, engage in activities that don't affect him at all, or he wasn't asked or required to be there, and he ends up shooting and killing 2 individuals and shooting a third and injuring them. This is a complete dangerous precedent, and I think we definitely have a lot of work to do to change it.
B'Ivory LaMarr, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks, Wolf.